Hey, yo, what's up? Ta-da. It's like weird when I gotta flip the camera around. I gotta like position it and then be ready and then be like, click, okay? That little song, I don't know. I can always cut the beginning off and just be like, okay, it starts here, but I just like it when it's unfiltered and raw, and this is gonna be like a hella unfiltered and raw venting session. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like a venting session, but then I'm also going to I'll use my Thoth tarot deck for this because I don't want to mess up the order of the other deck. Maybe I'll go in for a little reading afterwards. We'll see. It depends on how I feel. I go off of feeling, but I'm in control. So I'm in touch with my emotions, but I control them as well. I go with the flow of the energy. Like I just watched this show, Avatar. I watched the latest Avatar. I saw the show not even that long ago, but of course I saw it when I was a kid too. And it held up when I watched the animated show again. It was nice. It was good. I was glad I watched it. Now watching this new real action version of it, I liked it. I did. I definitely liked it. I can't hate because they really did they used quotes from the old show. They really thought it out, and they did their work casting the actors as well. So I gotta give cred where credit is due. It wasn't that bad. I was highly skeptic, especially when the beginning started off how it did. I was like, okay, is this gonna be like way too much and just like but pressure was on. Pressure was cooking for them to make this good. They made this like Avatar movie a while back. It was not good, not good at all. So no, they went through the story in a nice way, and I felt a lot of good emotions. It had me. It was tear jerking me for sure. I felt definitely some little tears trying to sneak out of my eyes when I was watching it, feeling it. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Finished it today. I did like 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and then I just watched the rest. It was only 8 episodes. So it was a fast show, honestly. But that's kind of not what triggered the Ventin session reading for today. The Ventin session reading today was kind of like triggered by, I had this feeling. I was like, so I have my special diet. I only drink milk. I mix it with oats and nuts and things like that. Sometimes I add fruit. Cherries is what I've added to it so far. I have strawberries. I haven't really tried that yet, but it should work. And yeah, it's been a really nice diet. I'm like 81.5 liter cartons of milk deep into it now. It's like been over 2 months. It's been good, and it feels great eating just that, honestly. I've definitely received my fair share of, are you sure this is a good idea? Oh, I don't think you can just do that. I think you need to eat this, you need to eat that. But I'm like, I don't need to eat all that, and I'm doing lactose-free milk, so that's like the big difference. I think if I did it with regular milk that doesn't have lactose in it, definitely has extra amounts of certain things in it that I don't think we as humans really need. I think that actually can have negative effects on us. My personal silly theory or whatever, this is not backed by facts, is that the regular milk has things in it that are like nutrients in it that are good for cows, but the lactose free milk removes the cow nutrients, and then it leaves. It sounds so silly, but that's my little silly guess on it. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be something else. And then we got, yeah, so I've been doing it. I've gained weight. I weigh more than ever before, and so now it was my second time eating different food. I cheated twice with chips. Both times the chips made me feel like shit, which was kind of very disappointing because obviously I would love to be able to eat chips. But nope, chips are done. Done no, you done no with the chips. I'm thinking the lentil chips could work, but I just don't trust the production. So maybe if I figure out how to make my own lentil chips, it could work. But then it might be too much work for the time being, at least. Um, and yeah, so then I had this like thing called smorgastorta. It was delicious, but even just eating like one piece, I ate two because I was like, I might as well. I enjoyed it. I had cake afterwards too. I haven't banned baked goods because I do like myself some baked goods, and they go really well in the like lactose free shakes. So just full disclaimers, you know. But yeah, I felt the salt. I felt that the smorgastorta, it was so salty. It was like it's like a fish bread cake. It's delicious. It's delicious. But 3/4 into eating it, I was like, whoa! I could taste the like, you know, when it's too salty. Like if you try taking a little taste of pasta water when you've salted it pretty heavily, and it's like, whoa, that's salty. That's kind of what I got off of it, and yeah, so I didn't really like that. I obviously don't consume high amounts of salt anymore, and that was one of the reasons why I went for the diet or whatever. And I figured this diet out on my own. There's no one else I'm basing it off of. This was just something I figured out, like, oh, it could work, you know. I thought of babies like milk, and I was like, and it's been working, and I feel good when I just eat that. But then all these other foods, when I even try them, it just, oh, it's not good. Like today, I went, I had like a hunch. I was like, oh, I gotta go to the local pizzeria where I live, and get this like and get some food. So I called. I asked what their lunch was for the day, because they have like a daily lunch. Got over there. I was happy when I called her. She was like, yeah, it's here, like one of my favorite things that I would used to eat there, and it was pan fried cod or whatever, something like that. Fried cod, nice. It comes with tartar sauce and potatoes. I don't eat potatoes anymore, so I skipped eating the potatoes, but I ate like maybe four thick chunks of this like battered up fried cod or whatever. And I mean, the sauce, the tartar sauce, that's obviously my favorite part of eating it. I ate it, and it was just like, it's disappointing. And it was disappointing how it made me feel. And then I had this soda that I love. It's called Trumpus. I tried it, and it just didn't hit the same as it used to do, because I don't really drink soda anymore. And I'm like, oh man, now I can't drink soda anymore. I can't eat fish anymore. I mean, I'm just dreading the day I dare try meat again, because I just know at this point that it's not gonna be the same, and it's obviously disappointing. It's not like I'm doing this diet because, oh, it's so yummy, you know. I mean, it is pretty yummy, and I haven't gotten tired of it over 2 months in, so I think it'll work, but it's disappointing that I can't enjoy all these foods anymore. And yeah, kind of is what it is, you know. Sometimes you got to cut things out of your life because they're just not serving you anymore. And yeah, so that was kind of what triggered my Ventin session. And then I was like, oh, I kind of just want to put myself in front of the camera and just be able to talk about whatever, you know, and not have to worry about, oh, am I making or am I yeah, it just sounds so weird about talking about making a video while you're making a video, but am I making the video because it's going to help someone, or am I making, and that's what I try to do with my tarot videos for sure. That's mostly trying to help people, because I feel like there's not a lot of good tarot out there. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, there is, of course, a lot of good tarot out there. Yeah, here comes the conflict card. I'm starting conflicts right now, even saying stuff like that, because it's like, obviously, I'm gonna leave the cards out, the ones that I pull. But yeah, I don't want to start any conflict. That's not what I'm saying. I just think that a lot of tarot is like, I don't even know if I'd call it projection. Of course, there is a fair share of projection in tarot videos from the readers. You know, if you haven't fully dealt with your own things and you're trying to read for other people, your own things are going to keep flooding into the reading. And I don't think that's really what it's supposed to be about. Then you should probably finish your own journey in that sense. I mean, our own journeys are never really finished, but I think there's definitely a point where you can understand how not to project your own traumas, fears, past, future thoughts, and things like that onto others. Of course, I do want to be able to talk about my future thoughts and things that I see for the future. I find it that I hold myself back a lot, sharing what I want for the future specifically, because I guess I've shared a lot of it, and a lot of the times, unfortunately, people don't see the vision in a way, but they think it sounds nice, but then they don't really. I don't know. It's probably just an irrational fear. I know there's a lot of people out there that do believe in me and that do enjoy what I do and know that I'm doing it in a genuine, nice way. We got quickness here, snabbhet, and yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with this video, and that's kind of what I want to do for all of the videos, is like ramping up the speed. It's hard because then there's the thought that maybe pausing and giving people space to think while having the reading can help them reflect on their own things. But at the same time, you don't always have to be an active listener. Sometimes it's nice to just have someone going on and on and on, and then that gives you like space to think for yourself about your own things. So I think that's something everyone who watches the video can take away with them. That's something that I had to learn for myself while listening to like audiobooks and stuff like that, is that it's okay to drift away in your thoughts. That just means that whatever you're listening to helped you find a thought that you're supposed to drift away in a way, and maybe go through it. And it, for me, those the times where I did that, it helped me. But then sometimes, obviously, oh, there's the card that was the first card, the Princess of Swords. It just didn't come out. That's what I said, like, whatever. But it's funny, very funny. Yeah, very funny. Anyway, yeah. So it's like just not trying to force yourself. Oh no, I have to be watching the video. I have to be listening to the video. You know, I can actually drift in my thoughts or listen to the audio or whatever. And that's something I'm thinking about too. Maybe I should make more just audio content. Maybe it's not that important for people to see me, but then I can't. You know, in a way, I pulled failure. I saw it before too, which is interesting that it forced itself out there anyway. Um, I'm gonna take it as like, it's good. I think maybe it's better that people can see how it is that I look and react and things. It definitely adds an element when I'm watching tarot videos. Also, like, but it's hard. Sometimes I feel like I get more out of the video while I'm looking at the person who's reading and watching their reactions and facial expressions, because then I can see more of what they mean. But then also sometimes it can be distracting and it can take away from the video. Here we got the Prince of Pentacles. Hard translating that the cards are in Swedish. Princibrickor is the Swedish term. And that's just like swift movement, holding your abundance and trusting that, yeah, you're set up. You have you have the things you need. I was gonna say like you have your stronghold, but it felt weird to say. But I guess I should just let go in this speech or whatever. Speech. I don't think it's a speech. I think it's a rant. I think it's some crazy monologue that I don't know how it's gonna come off, how it's gonna be taken. But I don't really care, because I'm just being myself, and I'm not really trying to do anything malicious out here. Here we got the Ace of Swords, which is like, yeah, and this Ace of Swords especially is like cutting through into the ether. I feel it's like opening a portal into light, and that's kind of what I want to do with it. I want to see how deep can I go, and how life changing can this experience get for me? How much confidence can I find in myself while doing this? Because ultimately, this is something I'm doing to serve myself. However that may be taken. And it doesn't matter. You can watch or you don't have to. You can like me or you don't have to. Then maybe this isn't for you, but I think this can help see that you can be in whatever way you want to be, and there's no problem with it. Now we pulled the Four of Wands, I believe, and it says like completion, or the word in Swedish is fullbordan, which is like, it's not completion correctly 100% in the context. It's more like completion of fulfillment, if you were to try to translate it even more correctly. And now we pulled the Four of Cups right afterwards. 4-4. 44 could be significant. I do like angel numbers and things like that, but I just feel like it's gotten so blown out of like proportion. Unfortunately, I feel like people are looking for the answers to their lives in all the wrong places. I think we just need to dig into ourselves and really see what we can do ourselves and what we really want to do, and not be afraid of expressing ourselves while doing so, And that's kind of what I'm training here, and I hope that it helps you feel like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do too. Here we got the two of Pentacles, which is the Ouroboros, which a very good friend taught me was the name of the snakes biting their tail. And yeah, I think I spoke about it in another video, that it's been following me around, the Ouroboros, the snake biting its own tail. And I feel like that's what we got to stop doing. We got to stop biting our own tails and start. We don't have to bite anything, like the diet that I'm doing right now. I don't have to chew. I just drink all my food. I mix it up and drink that slurry, Oh, do you want to be an old person that just drinks soups or whatever? You know what? Maybe I'll be a young person just drinking goop all day, every day, and that's fine with me, That's not, food is just sustenance. That's just something to keep your body nourished, to get your body to the state you want it to be in, to have enough energy to keep your organs, your brains, your body functioning at the highest level or whatever. And yeah, now we pulled the Eight of Pentacles. Lots of pentacles, yeah. And in Swedish it's called omtänksamhet, and in English that would be like thoughtfulness, like that you care. It would be like thoughtful care for others or whatever. And I think we have to start giving ourselves some thoughtful care, because who's gonna care the best for you? Who's gonna treat you the best? You should be the one treating yourself the best, and you should start thinking about how you're gonna do that. I've been trying and tweaking and seeing, okay, what's gonna make me feel the best way in my everyday life, and there's a lot of things I'm missing for that, for me to feel the best, for me to be able to do the most. But I'm at least taking the space for myself to get there. And if I can't have it all, then I can have the things that matter the most for the time being, at least. Like, I'd love to be able to go outside and do all these fun things, but my body doesn't feel right, and that would just disturb my peace. There we have peace, which is the two of swords. In Swedish, it's called frid, and yeah, I think that's what I strive for. I strive for having peace, and unfortunately, I had a friend who was disturbing my peace, and I was like, "Yo, man's in them. Like, don't do that. Like, focus on yourself or whatever." And he faced the consequences. Honestly, that's how it goes. You start disturbing someone's peace that isn't disturbing. Like, I'm not going around disturbing anyone's peace. But then sometimes it feels like people's peace just gets disturbed by me being myself, and I'm not really even putting anything on them. I'm not projecting on them. I'm not meddling in their business. I'm not doing anything to them in any sort of way. But me living in my truth and my vision and my life disturbs their peace, and that's a their problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I think that's also an important thing to see, that sometimes it's another person's problem that they're trying to get you caught up in, and don't get caught up in other people's problems. I mean, we got enough to deal with on our own. But then I have these like things that I wish I could be more outspoken about in life. Honestly, I feel like I silence myself because I'm like, I don't want to get all entangled in what's going on in politics, what's going on around the world. There's a lot of crazy things going on around the world, but it's like, what am I gonna do? I'm just one person. If I use the avatar as an analogy, I'm not the avatar. I can't bend all four elements to my will and go and be the savior of the world. And I don't think that anyone should have to bear that responsibility. I think the world is our responsibility, all of us together. It's our world, the human, and it's not even just humans world. If we're saying that R is our human world, it's not just our human world, but it's the nature's world, and it's the water's world, it's the animals world. I saw this really cute video of a little girl like, I don't want to eat animals, they're nice or whatever. And it's like, that's kind of where I'm at as well. Like, I don't really want to eat the animals anymore, although I had this like idea that maybe we could eat animals, but then we have to treat the animals with like, we have to give them the best life ever. Like, say all the animals that are raised and eaten or whatever, they get to live the absolute best life, and without, we can't use a bunch of medicines on them and things like that aren't natural. We could use natural medicines on animals and stuff, because that wouldn't tarnish the the meat or whatever, if we're thinking that, because people do enjoy being carnivores. This is kind of where my thought process comes from. It's like, people, it's going to be hard to convince people that you're never going to be able to eat meat again. But then if we treated the animals the best, we gave them the best feed, we gave them the best life, and then after the animals have lived this long, healthy, beautiful, cared life, like we've shown them that attentive care, and they've had a very peaceful life, then when it's time for the animal to die, the animal dies, and we get to harvest the meat. And then it would stockpile, and we could, I don't know, figure out some way to have a fair share of meat if you wanted to eat meat. But we don't need to eat meat. It's not something we have to do. It's nothing that it doesn't mean that we're gonna have a healthier, longer, stronger life because we eat meat. So if it's not required, then we should definitely not be doing it in such a harmful way to the animals. The industry has gotten a little wild, unfortunately. Um, and then it's like, if we were to downscale, but that's the thing, like solving all these like real world issues, it just so it's like worms on worms on worms trying to like decam these things because someone's making money and they're not going to want to just give up their industries for it. So I don't know how to solve all these issues. I've thought of how to solve, or actually I kind of do have. I have this very grandiose solution that I've been working on for years and years of my life, but I just haven't. I've shared it with people definitely along the way, um, but the Ace of Wands flew out. There we go, Ace of Wands. Um, but it's like I don't know how to make it a reality because I'm so afraid of some of megacorp. We'll use the term megacorp. I kind of like that. A megacorp of the people who just build more capitalist, world ruining things are gonna take all these really creative, beautiful ideas that I've made and turn them into money machines, and people will still be impoverished, and the people that I think everyone deserves it. So I'm not even gonna say the people that deserve it won't get it. Everyone deserves it, but I think it will unfortunately turn into like something exclusive that only the rich or the people who have time get to do, and I don't feel like that's the way. And there we pulled the sun. I really like the sun card in this deck. Same, it's a good card in the other deck too. It's the sun card is probably a good card in every deck. It's a beautiful card. It has all the astrology signs or whatever, and that's something also I'm probably not going to be adding into my videos. I could do the all right, I'm doing a reading for Aries, for Taurus, for Libra, but I just feel like you can either take from the reading or not, you know. And I'm not my readings aren't going to be for a specific person. I feel like the main tarot reader I go to, I feel like he does a very good job at uh, channeling for a specific person in a specific reading. I feel like he's definitely channeled me many times. I've watched his video. I've watched every video, I believe. Um, so, of course, I would have like a strong bond to that channel. But I mean, you never know. Maybe he's just that good that it resonates for many people, and it is right for many people, and it's not just me. You know, I think we have to debunk this thing that like we're so freaking special. How special can you be? You know, like you're one out of billions of people. Aren't we all special? I think the difference is in how authentic and genuine you are with who you are. I don't think that it matters who you are. I think it matters how real are you being towards yourself and others, and are you manipulating others, or are you just being your authentic self, you know? I think the people who are their authentic, genuine selves get more out of life. I think that's obviously, why wouldn't you? If you can do that, especially in a world where image is so important. There's a song that I really like. It's called "This Is Not an Image," and it's a silly, fun song, but I really like the message of that song, and I think it helped me feel more okay about what I was doing and how I was living my life, because it's like, yeah, this isn't an image. I'm not trying to be anyone. I'm just trying to be myself. Right? Isn't that the way to be? Or, you know, it, yeah, I think the world's all silly willy nilly. I think we value the wrong things, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And I think that brings a lot of pain and misery. And yeah, I think that wow, that's a lot of cards before I flip over. Really? far does it go? That many cards before a flip. It was an interesting story, but it started with the Ten of Swords, which is defeat. It's it's an easy feeling to get, to feel defeated. Unfortunately, it's nothing that it's nothing we want to feel. We don't want to feel defeated. That's a heavy feeling, heavy emotion. But why? Why would we feel defeated? What leads to feeling defeated except doubt? And unfortunately, sometimes people make you doubt yourself because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people make you doubt yourself. I always, or I never, it's funny because I just don't understand certain things. I don't understand how you could try. It's like, are they trying? That's it. I don't even know how to express what I'm trying to say right now because I don't understand the other side of it, and I always feel like I've been on the side that I'm on. And that's not saying that there's a good and a bad side. It's just saying that I personally don't feel like there's any other way to be for me than the way that I've always been. And I don't know if it's the same thing for everyone else. Unfortunately, I don't think so. I'd almost say I know so. I know that there's people that are trying way too hard to be this version of themselves that people like, for example, or they see, oh, this certain thing or being in this certain way gets attention. Let me project that same way of being and I'll get attention as well. Because for me, I just feel like if you do that, if I were to do that, yeah, it would maybe make it so people would want to watch my videos, for example, more. If I started acting like other people that are very successful creating videos and stuff, it's not that hard really to put on a mask or a front and be like, okay, I'll be like this, and then people will like it because then you can tweak because you have like a goalpost, like, okay, maybe it won't work the first time, the second time, the third, the 100th, but then after you figure it out, boom, that now you know, okay, that was the right way, that was the feeling I was aiming for, and now I can project this out in so many different ways, and I'll get traction, and I can do all these things. But to me, that sounds very fake. That sounds like you're just trying to live based off of like someone else's formula or whatever. And I think that tangles you up to where now you're, and then what, let's say you want to start being yourself afterwards. Can work. You could trick people into liking you because you're acting a certain way, but then when you revert back to yourself, which probably gonna happen sooner or later, it's gonna, people are gonna be like, wait a minute, this is how you actually were. You weren't like that. You could, it can, they, you could keep your viewers or whatever, but it just sounds like a hassle, and it sounds like it would be an easy way to lose yourself, unfortunately. And that's something I never wanted to do. I never wanted to lose myself. Of course, I've I don't know if I'd say I ever lost myself. I'd say that I've experimented a lot with my being, and I've known that as long as I always stay true to my core, that no matter how far I may stray out to the edges while experimenting, I'll always be able to come back to the center. And I've had experiences where I definitely could have tipped over the edge, but in those moments, I always found the strength and courage to do what was right for me and what I felt was right morally as a whole. And I think that helped me build my own moral compass. And it's hard to say. I mean, that moral compass could definitely be well rounded to where it could work for other people as well, I guess. But I think we all need to base our moral compass off of our own understanding, not someone else's. We have to stop asking. Nah, I can be very upfront and doof like this. I kind of want to be careful about that in the videos because I just don't want to be telling people that this is the way or that's the way. I kind of want to keep it open, but at the same time, I don't like closing doors. But at the same time, I do kind of have to work on expressing my own, okay, this is, I think like this. But it's just hard when you don't want to project. It's complicated, isn't it? It is complicated. That's what I feel. But it's like I saw this live streamer, and she was live streaming like tarot or whatever, and I saw in the comments someone ask, "I'm engaged. I'm engaged. Should I stay engaged and get married or not? Or what should I do?" I was like, whew, you cannot be asking deep questions like that to a tarot reader that doesn't know you and doesn't know your life. And I don't even know if you should ask that question to anyone. That's something you have to figure out solely on your own. No one's going to be able to give you the answer to that. And let's say someone does give you the answer to that, and you, let's say, break it off. And then years down the road or months or weeks or however long down the road you realize, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Now you can almost blame the person that gave you the advice. And that's something I figured out a while back. It's like, even when giving advice, you have to be very careful not to tell people, oh, I think you should do this. I think it's more important if someone trusts you that much. Let's say it's a friend. If someone trusts you so much that they want you to give them, let's say, relationship advice or whatever, then it's important to give them, uh, I guess, your understanding on their situation rather than telling them, oh, cut it off, or yeah, this is the right person for you. Because, yeah, no, it's help. I think it's more important to make sure that people have the right information so they can make a more informed decision if they're looking for the advice. But unsolicited advice is something that I realize in life isn't something you should be given out, because yeah, people don't appreciate it most of the time. Sometimes you can read the situation, the person, and realize that they do want your advice, but let's say you misread the situation and now you're giving them unsolicited advice, then that can be a very obnoxious feeling from their part. They'll be like, why are you telling me this? Why are you giving me advice on what to do? That's not that's not your that's not your job. That's not your part to play in my life. Things like that. But yeah, kind of little rant on it. I don't know if I had that much more to add, honestly. I think I'll cut it there just because I feel like I powered down. I was all up high. I was boom, 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 boom. But now I feel like it slowed down. So I'll end it there. Thank you for watching. If you watch it, if I post it, it feels weird. We'll see. We'll see how I react personally when I watch it. I gotta watch it beforehand because I gotta see, just to make sure that I feel comfortable putting myself out there like this. And then, as long as I feel comfortable putting myself out there like this, then it can go up and you can say whatever you want to say. I'll appreciate it either way. So, take care. Have a good day, good night, good morning, good whatever. Luke now, Lucas, Luke. Yeah. Take care. Peace.